I'm a product of the district I want to represent. I grew up in a very small town and went away for college and then kind of moved back. And then I moved to New York City for a little while and moved back and just always saw myself returning home. And I have a good deal of my family that lives in this area. So it is where I call home. And ultimately, what really got me involved in politics was obviously an interesting story that maybe some of your listeners are already aware of. But I am a woman who came forward about an encounter with now President Trump when I lived and worked in New York City, and I was working at his building, Trump Tower. And I had an unfortunate incident with him that I spoke out about, and that really, I guess, caught the attention of some local progressive women in my area. And they really, came to me and thought they wanted someone to represent Democrats, which is sometimes lacking in our area, unfortunately, and, asked me to take on this responsibility. And I, at first, was a little hesitant, but ultimately I felt like it was a responsibility I had to the people in our area to provide them that choice that we are sometimes lacking. So that was just in January where I made that decision, and the rest is history now. We're a few months in and going strong. I'm excited to say that if I do win in November, or when I win in November, I will be the first female to represent our district, which I think is very exciting. And as someone who has a lot of younger female cousins and a young niece, I think it's great. And I would, feel wonderful to provide them sort of that role model aspect of a woman in politics in our area. And I would be the first Democrat since the early 90s. This has become a very divisive time, and I think it's really unfortunate that I've heard from people that I know, and even within my own family, I can say that, politics has been divisive and has created strife within families, and it shouldn't be that way. You should be able to have a different opinion and still like someone else, or, still be able to talk about things and just be more sensible. So I think we have to resist the urge to be hyper reactive and attack one another.